Sarah, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to do different plank exercises so you can make sure you're working your entire core. Today we're talking about all the different ways that you could do planks, regular planks, side planks, reverse planks, so that you can make sure you're working all of your core muscles, because your core is more than just your abs. Right? We often think of our abs when we're working our core, but the core also includes muscles like our lower back muscles, even some of our hip muscles. Basically, the core is like the central part of our body. Planks are a really great exercise because they kind of hit different areas of the core, and they usually are working more than one muscle group at a time. So they're a really effective exercise. Today I'm going to teach you the basics of doing these 3 different types of planks. I'll show you one modified version and then the full version, and we'll go over form to make sure that you're doing your form correctly while you're performing these exercises. This is going to be part 1. There will be a part 2 to this video where we go over ways you can make your planks even more challenging. For all of the planks we're going to talk about, I just want to state that I want you to make sure you continue to breathe while you're holding any of your planks. This exercise, since it is an isometric where we're sitting and holding, sometimes people are more likely to hold their breath, but you definitely don't want to do that. Make sure you're keeping your breath steady while you're holding any of these planks. So with all that said, we're going to get into our planks, and the first one we're going to do is regular planks, the ones that you're probably familiar with. You could do these either on your forearms or on your hands. When you do them on your hands, it's a little more challenging for your upper body muscles, but I would say they both are pretty challenging. I don't know if one is necessarily more difficult than the other, so I would recommend kind of incorporating both into your routine. So maybe one workout or 1 week you do forearm planks, and then the next time you switch it up and do planks on your hands. They're both really good, so I think both are beneficial to have in your workout routine. We're going to go over forearm planks first. So to make this exercise easier, you could do your planks on your knees. To make these a little bit more challenging, you're going to do them on your toes. For both of these variations, you're going to think about pulling the belly button up and in toward your spine to keep those abdominal core muscles engaged. So this first plank is really working the abs, so the part of the core we often think about. The next 2 will challenge different parts of the core. But you really want to make sure you're keeping the abs engaged, and that's going to keep your spine stable. So we do that by pulling our belly button in toward our spine. I have a whole video that teaches you how to do that. If you have trouble with it, I'll link it down below. But if you're already comfortable with it, that's what we're doing. And like I said, you want to make sure you continue to breathe while you're doing that. You're not holding your breath. So regardless of being on your knees or on your toes, we're all going to be on the forearms. So you want to make sure your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Okay, and you're going to bring your hands together. You can interlace your fingers. So if you're on your knees, basically you're going to hinge forward until your body's in one straight line. Okay, so you don't want your hips sinking down. You don't want your butt sticking out in the air. You want yourself to be in one straight line, and you want to feel the abdominal muscles engaged. And then if you're on the toes, basically you tuck the toes underneath you, the knees are lifted up, and your body is now, again, one straight line, not letting the hips fall down and not sticking your butt up in the air. One straight line here. Make sure that you're keeping your head in one line, so you're not dropping the head down, you're not looking up, you want your neck in neutral. And with your planks, you want to make sure you're not sinking your upper body, that you're pressing through the elbows to really draw the shoulders down away from your ears. If you want to do planks on your hands, it's pretty much the same thing. This time you're going to be on your palms, and you want to make sure that your hand is going to be directly underneath your shoulder. So same thing, you can do them on your knees. Make sure you don't lock out your elbows. Again, keeping one straight line, abs are engaged, continuing to breathe. Okay, or you're up on your toes like you're going into a push-up and you're holding here. Okay, abdominals pulling in. Again, keeping the spine in one straight line. And make sure you're pressing through the hands so you're not dropping the shoulders down. You're pressing through the hands to keep the shoulders down away from your ears. And those are your traditional planks, a really great core exercise, really working through those deep abdominal muscles, so they're really good for stability. Next up, we have side planks, and side planks are going to work more of the side of the abdominal muscles, so they're going to get more oblique activation. You're going to get some outer hip activation, which again, some of those hip muscles are part of your core, so this is kind of changing up which muscles we're working. Kind of like with regular planks, with side planks, You can also be on your forearm or on your hand. So this, again, when you're on your hand, it challenges your upper body more. It's gonna be pretty challenging for your upper body to do side planks on your hand because you're literally on one arm. So just keep that in mind. Both are great exercises though. And similar to the other planks, you could either do them with the weight through your knees or with your feet straight out. So on the knees is a little easier, the legs straight out makes it a little more challenging. If you feel like you're losing your form in, say, the more challenging option, like you're having difficulty keeping the spine stable, whatever, drop down to your knees. I'd rather you keep good form than try to move to an exercise that you're not ready for, okay? Form is most important. Okay, so up first we're on our elbow. So you'll have to do each side to balance yourself out. So right now I am demonstrating the left side. So I have my elbow right underneath my shoulder. Again, we want to keep that good alignment there. If you're going to do the modified variation, you're going to bend your knees in, okay? And then you could put your other hand on your hip, press through your elbow, lift your hips up and hold. Again, it's good to keep the abdominal muscles pulling in. What you want to think about is you want to make sure you're not overlifting, okay? You're not hanging down and barely lifting. You're again in one straight line right here. And again, keep your neck in neutral. To step this up a notch, you will straighten out the legs. So the weight's gonna be through the outer edge of your foot. So since I'm on my left side, the weight's gonna be through the outer edge of my left foot. Okay, same thing, press through the elbow, lift the hips up, hold, breathe. Making sure you're in one straight line. With side planks, sometimes people overlift, okay? We also sometimes underlift. We want to be in that one straight line. To make this more challenging for your upper body, you could do your planks again on your hand. If you need to modify and be on your knees, I suggest doing the forearm variation. I don't find that it works as well to modify with the knees when you do the planks on your hands. But if you want to do them on the hands with the legs straight out, hand will be under your shoulders, legs straight out so the weight's going through the same spot. You're gonna lift up, again, one straight line here, and breathe. And you can see there's a lot more weight on this arm. Make sure you keep your shoulder down away from your ears so you're pressing that shoulder down. Make sure you don't lock out the elbow that you have your weight through. Okay, last up we have reverse planks. So our regular planks worked the front part of our core. Our side planks work the side of our core. Now our reverse planks are gonna work the back of our core, our lower back muscles. So reverse planks, to modify, you can't really do them on your knees. So the modification for reverse planks is gonna be to do reverse tabletop. So we'll start with reverse tabletop. So if you're doing tabletop, your knees are bent, your hands are behind you, okay? Fingertips pointing toward your feet. You're gonna press through your heels, press through your hands, lift the hips up to the sky. So you squeeze through your butt, and you're basically in a tabletop. You wanna keep your neck in neutral, so you're just looking up toward the ceiling. Keep drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. And breathe and hold here. Again, your back is in a nice straight line. You're not just kind of letting the hips hang out down here. You're really squeezing your butt to lift you up. Make sure you don't lock out your elbows. To make this more challenging, you're gonna move to reverse plank. So for reverse plank, your legs are gonna be straight out instead of having the knees bent. So the legs are straight out, hands are still behind you like in reverse tabletop. You're gonna press through your hands and you're gonna lift your hips up, point your toes down toward the floor, and hold and breathe here. Again, still squeezing your butt. So now you can see your body is in one long straight line. Keep the neck in neutral, look up toward the sky. Shoulders down away from your ears. Don't let the hips sag. Really squeeze through your butt to keep you lifted. And you're working those lower back muscles, the glutes are working the back side of our core. Make sure you don't lock out your elbows. 4 sets and reps for any of the planks that we went over today. You can start by holding them for 10 seconds and then progress your way up to 30 seconds, and you're gonna wanna repeat that 3 times. So those are 3 different ways you could do your planks to make sure you're working all of your core muscles. Thank you guys for being here and watching. I hope you found this helpful. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button right below me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.